Jerry and Esther were in the Seashore State Park in Virginia Beach a few years ago. And when they first walked in, it was like the set of Star Wars, hanging mosses. And it was as if they were the only two people on the planet, not a creature anywhere. And as they walked a little longer and began breathing and reveling in the beauty of the place and relaxing into their own rhythm and pace, the creatures began making themselves known. All kinds of little critters were coming out of the bushes. And they got to the ranger's station, and there was a picture with a caption under it that said, "The elusive silver gray fox." And Esther said to the ranger, "Are we going to see some of them?" And he said, "I've been here 13 years and I haven't seen one." Jerry and Esther came around a corner. The elusive silver gray fox was standing right in the intersection. Looked at them, they looked at him, he looked at them, they looked at him, he looked at them, they looked at him. He said, "Seen enough," and off he went. Now they're standing on a wooden walkway, a walkway that is above a sort of swamp. And Esther is standing with her feet sort of dangling over the edge. And Jerry said, "Honey, I want you to just listen to the sound of my voice and move very slowly and deliberately back one step." And so Esther listened to the sound of his very calm voice and stepped back. And then he said, "Do it again." And she did. And he said, "Now look down." And there was a copperhead snake stretched out in the sun. And he laid there for a little while and said, "You seen enough?" Then off he went. So now Jerry and Esther are back at the ranger station, and Jerry said, "Did you know you have copperhead snakes?" And the ranger said, "No, we don't have any copperhead snakes." And Jerry said, "Well, you do now." Things that usually do not come out and play were coming out and playing because the vibrational resonance with that high-flying disc was emanating. And nature is the first responder beyond your own emotions and thoughts to demonstrate to you where your vibrational frequency is. Any nature ever playing with you? Hummingbirds doing ridiculous loop-to-loops in the gardens? Birds flying, obviously, just for entertaining you? Creatures of all manner, cooperative components of the universe, saying to you, now that you're getting the hang of this, we would like to demonstrate with you the alignment that we feel in you. And then, of course, on your high-flying disc, other humans also on the high-flying disc, appearing in crowds, standing out, walking to you, right timing, saying the right thing at the right time, giving you just a little piece of something that you were wondering about, another little piece of something, rendezvous all day long, leading you to where you want to be, because this is certain. Where you stand and where you want to be is known by all that is. And when you take the time to wake up deliberately, acknowledging the high-flying disc and deliberately staying there and beating the drum of it and practicing it through the day, even if you fall off, you will. Even if you fall off, get on again. Even if you fall off, tomorrow get on. Even if you fall off, tomorrow get on. Until eventually Esther said, Abraham, I refuse to accept that I have to wait until tomorrow to get back on the high-flying disc. You've given me too many tools. I like it on the high-flying disc. I'm going to be on the high-flying disc. I don't care what it takes to be on the high-flying disc. Even if I have to feel good, I'm going to be on the high-flying disc. And after a while, it just becomes such a steady point of attraction that you begin to feel like the invincible creator of your own reality that you are. Because you are the creator of your own vibrational offering. Because you have guidance to let you know. You have guidance to let you know. So there are two ways of knowing what disc you're on. First is how you feel. Next is what's manifesting around you. Those are the indicators. So this message is not about scolding you about being on anything other than the high-flying disc. You get to be wherever you want to be, and sometimes being on those lower discs is really a clarifying experience. For a while, Esther was hard on herself when she knew she was not on the high-flying disc. She would be really mad at herself for not having the self-discipline to stay there. And we would say to her once she would come back into earshot of us, Esther, these are not negative moments. These are not bad moments. These are not wrong moments. These are clarifying moments. And how wonderful it will be for all of you when you're consistently hanging out on that high-flying disc, and then you have those little clarifying dips that just keep parlaying you into more and more and more clarity about who you are and what you want. Life is supposed to feel good to you, and it's not supposed to feel good later. It's not about planning that vacation or looking forward to retirement or waiting for your dream mate or your dream home or your dream vacation. It's not about waiting for something good to happen. It's about being in a place that the good stuff can rendezvous with you right now, you see. And you have the ability to control your vibration so that good stuff is rendezvousing with you right now. And you're going to reach the place where you're even willing to say the stuff that you didn't think you wanted that rendezvoused with you was still good stuff, because out of it comes clarity, out of it comes expansion, out of it comes more potential for more good feeling. You have control of the way you feel. Therefore, you have control of everything that comes to you. Therefore, you are the creator of your own reality. We just want it to be fun along the way. Esther began writing, I'm having fun on my way to that. Because she discovered that was a big piece. Because if you want to be someplace that you're not, and you're aware that you're not, in your awareness that you're not where you want to be, what do you feel? Negative emotion? And if you're feeling negative emotion, what's your point of attraction? And if you're not on the disc where you're going to rendezvous with what you want, and you're on a disc where you're going to rendezvous with what you don't want, you sort of kind of getting how this is? But what if you don't have yet in manifested form what you want, but you're having fun on the way to what you want? If you're having fun on the way to what you want, then what disc are you on? If you're having fun on the way to what you want, then you're on that high-flying disc, and then on your way to what you want, you're having a whole lot of fun with a whole lot of other things that you want too, you see. But if you're bummed out about not having what you want, then what disc are you on? And if you're on that bummed out disc, there's grumpy and happy and sleepy and bummed out. So if you're on that disc where you just don't feel good, then what is your point of attraction? What's your emotion telling you? What's disappointment telling you that you're headed toward? You see. So, do you like knowing that you can control the way you feel? Do you believe that you can control the way you feel? And do you hear us when we say your best chance of controlling the way you feel, of controlling your vibrational output, is by starting in the morning when the momentum is slow and then getting it going in the direction of that which you're wanting? So, how do you speed momentum? If you're on the high-flying disc and you want it to go faster, and you do, how do you do it? Become more specific. If you're on a low-flying disc and you feel terrible, do you want to speed the momentum or do you want to slow it? And how do you slow momentum? By becoming more general. So now you sort of get it, don't you? Think more about it if it feels good. Think less about it if it doesn't feel good. Get more specific if you're feeling good. Become more general if you're not feeling good. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. And we have just about used all of the time from the first gathering, but it is such a good thing that has happened, because you are now understanding everything that you will ever need to know about living happily ever after. Everything that you will ever need to know. And you will now understand when you meet others, you'll just know, oh, they're not on a good disc. They're not on a disc that's serving them very well. Do I want to play with them? I gotta go. Gotta go. Your friends will say, where are you going? To the high-flying disc. No, really, where are you going? To the high-flying disc. What are you going to do when you get there? Whatever I feel like doing. And something else that we want to say to our friend just now, and to you as well, to all of you. As you live in this world, you are living in this world, aren't you? And there are people who are perceiving you. And in many cases, you see yourselves as teachers, and so you're wanting to present your teaching in a way that is beneficial to them. But it causes you to have too much attention upon their perception of you. Because you cannot accurately understand anybody else's perception of you, and even if you do, it waters down your perception of you. It waters down your relationship with who you are. It waters down your relationship with your high-flying disc. So we would like to say in as profound and pronounced and loving way as we can, we would like this to just be the poetry of the rest of your life. Mind your own business. And in that, we want to say, even if they're thinking about you, it's still not your business. What anybody else is thinking isn't your business, even if they're thinking about you. That's so big. Because you can't control what disc they're on when they think about you. Think about that. How about that? So you've been letting your perception of yourself in large part be because of what other people think about you who haven't been on the high-flying disc when they've been thinking about you. When all along you could have been letting your perception of yourself be based upon Source's perception of you, who is always on the high-flying disc when Source is thinking about you. Think about that too. And there's some of that mixed in here. In other words, we can feel that mixed in here.
Absolutely. And it was, even though I was going through what I was going through and everybody was projecting...
Stop saying that.
Well,
Stop saying that. Going through what I was going through. There's an implication there that activates something that nobody needs to hear. You don't need to say it and you don't need to hear it.
Okay, then...
We know.
I was intending for that to represent...
We know. But you'd be better off to just stay off that subject.
Yeah, I was having such a good time.
Altogether. You'd be better off to just stay off that subject. If you were having such a good time, you would not be talking about going through what you were going through.
Okay. I get that. Yeah. Then help me with this, because I'm trying to...
I don't want to.
No. Oh.
We don't want to take a subject that is a lower flying disc subject and try to turn it into a higher flying disc subject. We'd rather just pick a higher flying disc subject.
Great.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why do it the hard way? Why do it the impossible way? Why do it the way that doesn't work when there's a way that works? You see what we're getting at? You really have to say that in a really powerful way.
I loved watching people respond to how I was showing up. I didn't have an attachment to it. And I found that the people that came into my room, as soon as they walked in the room...
Yeah, but you see, you are just demonstrating the very thing that we are encouraging you to mind your own business about. And we know you can't be in the world without people observing you, and it's really nice when what they're observing makes them praise you and feel good about you, and it's nice to sort of lay new pipes and have different experiences. But even with the perfection of all of that, still, you are really involved in people's response to you, and we're just saying that slows you way, way down. It's sort of like when Jerry and Esther's books began to hit popularity, and they were on the New York Times bestseller list, and #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, and lots of people from outside of the safe haven of gatherings like this were beginning to read them and beginning to get hold of little pieces of the information. So lots of commentary began coming back to them. Most of it really positive, but some of it not so positive. And their publisher said, don't read your own press. Because if their praises elevate you, their criticism will devastate you. Because you can't control what disc they're on when they write you the letter.
Right. Awesome.
And so if the feedback that you're getting from them matters, then you've got to control what disc they're on, and you can't. This is really important information, isn't it? But you can control what disc you're on.
And
so when someone says, I love you, we want you to say, I don't care.
Yes, absolutely.
And when someone says, I hate you, we want you to say, I don't care.
Hey, got it.
I got this covered. And of course, we're not trying to talk you out of loving each other, and we're not trying to talk you out of talking about loving. We're just trying to talk you into being so self-sufficient and so self-empowered that the love that is you is permeating that which is you so profoundly that you just radiate it and ooze it everywhere you go, and there's nobody who is ever your object of attention who does not feel loved because you've practiced loving so much. We think this is a really good time.